back to Better Living. I'm joined now by Randy Dixon, the president of the Toledo Bar Association. Comes in to talk to us about different events that you guys have sometimes, or different ways that you're serving the public. And you help serve the public by coming on here and talking about topics that, you know, people need to know about. And the one we're going to talk about today is a sensitive topic, and certainly feel for anybody who's in that situation. It can be such a devastating situation and dangerous situation, and it's domestic violence.
Correct. We have a couple of ways in Ohio that you deal with domestic violence. One would be to go to the Toledo Municipal Court, and in that setting, it's actually the prosecutor, the Toledo prosecutors, that would be representing the party that is the victim. However, we also have in the Common Pleas Court, in the Family Court in Lucas County, we have what's called a civil protection order. And in that setting, you can do it by yourself, but after the first initial hearing, the ex parte hearing, you can use an attorney, and you need an attorney really in that setting. And that's where we come in. The Toledo Bar Association provides attorneys at that time to some folks that meet the, you know, they can't afford their own attorney. But also, in some instances, the private attorneys can also be employed by the Ohio Supreme Court. The Ohio Supreme Court will actually end up paying for that private attorney at the end of the process.
It can, I'm sure, be an overwhelming situation for somebody who feels fearful and just wants to get out. If you're in that situation, and let's say you're married, and let's say there's children involved, and you need you feel like you need to get out and get out quickly, is it okay to take the kids? Is it okay to leave the house? I know you hear, and it may not even be true, but what I hear attorneys say to people is don't leave your house, right, because then you're vacating that. In this situation, it's totally different, isn't it?
Well, what you're supposed to do is be able to call, you know, a police officer, and if there has been or there's a threat of physical violence, they're going to take some action. And you know, what is supposed to happen is somebody leaves at least at that time, and then you can go get a ex parte order. Ex parte just means the other party doesn't even have to be there.
Okay.
You go in front of a magistrate, or you go in front of a judge if it's in Toledo Municipal Court, and an order is made, and the other side, the perpetrator, they call them respondents, or the defendant, sure, over in Toledo Municipal Court, they don't even have a chance to tell their side of the story. An order is made at that time. In the where we come into play with the Toledo Bar Association over in Family Court, it's about a week later, and you're going in front of a magistrate, and the magistrate has both sides in front of them. And then we are representing the volunteer attorneys, the pro bono attorneys, or if it's a Supreme Court attorney,
sure,
is representing the petitioner. It's called the petitioner. That's the victim of the domestic violence. So that magistrate at that time can do all sorts of things. There can be orders for up to somebody being ordered out of the house. They can order custody. They can even order child support for that period of time. And then the civil protection order can actually last for years, you know, 2 to 5 years.
I think it is important for people who are in that situation to understand that there is help for them, because I would assume that you feel very lost and just overwhelmed.
And no place to turn. Yeah, that's the problem. And the Toledo Bar, you know, lawyers have an obligation to supply legal services to everybody, whether they can pay or not. And that's what the Toledo Bar does in this instance. In fact, we're training. There's a very large, very successful law firm that normally wouldn't be seeing these types of cases. It's Joe Thacker, an attorney in Toledo, who's volunteering his attorneys, or the attorneys are volunteering their time, and they're the ones, the Toledo Bar members, that are going to be representing these folks, these victims of domestic violence over there in the Lucas County family court.
Well, that is a great way for them to give back, for sure. A cause that is so personal to so many people. You all know someone who has been the victim of, or perhaps you have. Is it a big problem here in our area?
Well, you know, we have one of the best systems. If you hear other lawyers, other judges talking, we have almost a seamless system that everybody between, you know, the law enforcement, the magistrates, the clerks, the Bar Association, we take it very seriously, and it's probably one of the best systems in Ohio that you'll find, so that you know, people can seek protection and get those civil protection orders when it's needed.
It is comforting to know that we're taking care of people that need taken care of and need a helping hand. If someone is in this situation right now and they're seeing this segment, what can they do? Who do they reach out to first?
Well, if you're going through the Toledo Municipal Court, you'd be talking to a prosecutor. The family court, you can actually go down to the family court and talk to a clerk there, start the process at that time, and if it requires an ex parte order, they can start that process right now. You go in front of a magistrate, and then the attorneys, the Toledo Bar Association attorneys, would be in touch with them after that time, and then actually represent them at that hearing about a week later.
Well, thanks so much for pointing out to us how it all works. And if you are in need of these services, please contact the appropriate system. We'll be right back on Better Living.